was casting it, and she saw a lot of young women in London. And I think I took my shoes off, which seemed to make a very great impression when it got back to Denmark, for some reason. I was invited to go out to Copenhagen to meet Lars and Stellan. And that day is a very powerful memory for me, a very, very powerful sort of watershed day in my life, when basically the course of my life changed. When he started working with me and the camera right there in the minute, I felt myself really responding and being able to give him what he was asking for. It did feel like it was a very natural flow and things went as they went, and he didn't sort of have a very strong idea of how something should be. I mean, I can remember getting quite sort of grumpy. But I think that's just because it was so much and it was so intense and it was so, you know, I just felt like I was carrying a lot on my shoulders. But I think we had a good communication, yeah. Working with him, I found him incredibly sensitive. The first thing he said to me when I first arrived, he said, I don't want to make this like any other film that I've ever made before. He said, my movies before were so boring. He said, I've just left my wife. It was like an all or nothing experience for me. I had to completely give myself over to this man. I didn't really know him. I just had to tell myself to trust. You know, he's very odd. But then, God, if, you know, he's an artist. We're all odd. You know, he's just really quite odd. But so what? I mean, I grew up in a kind of quasi-religious cult myself. And I had sort of nominally stayed in it all of that time. So when I was acting, I'd been raised as a kind of hothouse flower, kind of, you know, I was supposed to be part of the inner sanctum of this religious organisation. And when I accepted the job of Breaking the Waves, I was ostensibly cast out. I was told, that's it. I was told, go on your undignified way. Literally, I was always given a sense that, you know, spiritual life was the most important thing beyond everything else. And in a sense, I am grateful to that, because I think there's something true in that, but not in the way that I was controlled, and, you know, I don't think it was right. God, or she could give herself to pop music, or she could give herself to having sex with men, or she was just a sort of 100% give person. You know, take somebody very, very powerfully pure who is utterly committed to their religion, the extremity that puts them in.
It's a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair.
Well, I didn't watch any dailies. I hadn't seen a thing, and then they sent me a video tape, and I was horrified. I was horrified. I just thought it was really weird, and just really weird and strange, and I felt so exposed, and then, but everybody told me it was marvellous, so. And then we went to Cannes, and there was the most extraordinary reaction to it in Cannes, and I began to kind of go, okay, I begin to see what they're talking about.